Hello, this is Mark Sabatella from Outside Shore Music. In this video, I'm going to show you a few different ways we encounter the sixth chord, in particular the major sixth chord, particularly in jazz fake books. And I have to tell you, there's a little bit of a secret code that you want to know about these sixth chords. Because the deal is, okay, this song we're looking at is in the key of F, and the tonic chord, the one chord, in a jazz setting, we're almost never going to play it as a triad. We're either going to add a sixth, or maybe we're going to play it as a major seventh chord. And in fake books, sometimes you'll see, as we do here, we'll see F6, and sometimes we'll see F major 7. But those don't necessarily mean what you think they do. In other words, they are not necessarily meant to be taken literally. It doesn't literally mean that you always are supposed to play a sixth chord there at the beginning and you're always supposed to play a major seventh chord there in measure 3. Because really what's going on is they are choosing between them based on the melody more than anything. So in particular, if the melody note is the root, like it is here, then they will usually call it a sixth chord because what they're trying to avoid is one of the following. They're either trying to avoid you putting the major seventh right below the root, like that, which actually sounds fine. It really does. But, okay, maybe hearing the major seventh right below the root might throw a singer. So that's one of the reasons. If you put it down here, it creates a dissonance. And again, you can totally throw enough color tones on it where it can sound just fine. But you will find a lot of fake books are pretty consistent about this. If the root is the prominent melody note, they will call it a sixth chord. Otherwise, they call it a major seventh chord. And you'll see that they're pretty consistent about this. Here's another F major 7 further down because the root is not in the melody. They're going to call it a major seventh chord unless the root is in the melody. The other time they call it a sixth chord, other than root and melody, is if the actual sixth is in the melody, like it is here. Right? The sixth is in the melody, so they call it a sixth chord. And then 2 bars later, it's not the sixth in the melody, not the root in the melody, so again it goes back to the default, which is to call it a major seventh. So that's something you can often count on in these fake book charts. They're going to call tonic chords a major seventh chord unless either the root or the sixth is in the melody. Now, there are at least two other very specific situations you should know about where they call for a sixth in a chord. One is if your song is essentially Brazil. It's a standard. It goes like this. That's Brazil. And it's got this little line that's sort of built into the accompaniment, and that line involves the sixth. And so you'll see they put a sixth chord right there. And here they just call it E flat 6. We can look at another song here that uses basically the same thing. This is It Never Entered My Mind. These are kind of Miles Davis's changes, and you'll see, right? It's got that same thing. It's written there with a major 7th sharp 5, and then there's our F6. It's that same kind of line, and so the sixth here is a hint to you that maybe you're supposed to use that special kind of accompaniment figure if you happen to know the song and know that's what's going on. There is one other setting where we typically see sixth chords, and that is songs about trains, like Take the A Train. Here, that there's just something about that song, there's something about that is like this cliche. If you've ever been to the Denver airport, you know that is the sound that is played when the train comes to the station, the train within the terminal. So in any case, so Take the A Train is a song about a train, and it is very typically voiced with a sixth chord in there. And I say that somewhat tongue-in-cheek, but no, actually there's several other songs that will deliberately try to convey this very specific sound that is sort of a stereotypical train type of sound. So anyhow, those are the different settings in which you typically see sixth chords and what they are really telling you about the music.